was built originally, and I don't know if it was called the Leamon. I'm not sure what the name was then, but it was built as a bakery in 1890.
1890.
Yeah. So it's a really old structure. It was a bakery for a while. Then it was bakery supply, and then following that, it became a beer wholesaler. Multi-generations, it was a beer wholesaler, Pabst.
Okay.
Eventually, they expanded other brands, of course, but Pabst was the original, as far as I understand the story. This next warehouse was built in the 80s, and I believe that corresponded about with their acquisition of the Coors brand.
All right.
They also built some pretty major cooler inside at the same time.
Okay.
And then in the 90s, the next warehouse out here was constructed.
Okay. So it's a big facility. How many square feet, you know?
Totally, there is 16,300.
Wow. That is a big chunk of real estate to bite off. Now, when you plan to build a brewery in the grassy field over there, how big of a building were you thinking about building?
It was, we had a structure designed by Wagner's Architects for 6,000 square feet.
Okay.
Expandable to 7,500.
So you're more than double that.
So this is J.R. Jensen. They're the riggers on this job. They're working with Jamar.
Okay.
So we have the steel workers and the pipe fitters working together to put this into the building.
That's one way to get some loyal clientele.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without them.
They'll build it, then they'll come and drink.
Either way, we couldn't do it without them.
How much is this mash tun valued at?
Specifically, each tank, we have a 3-vessel brew system.
Okay.
And so everything together, we got a little over $750,000 in our just the brewery system.
Okay.
Not including the other equipment. All equipment together, we're over $1 million, 1.2.
Now, just out of curiosity, when you opened the brew house 20-some years ago, what did you invest in that operation?
That brewery, I think, cost us $30,000. Yeah,
wow.
All together. Yeah.
A little bigger scale here.
Yeah. Yeah, we bought at the time. We bought 1950s English pub system that had been used in Colorado at a still operating brewery there. Who was upgrading, and that was in 1996.
Okay. I imagine you had a few naysayers back in the day asking you what you were doing.
Oh yeah. It's always the thing about entrepreneur. Sometimes they're right, unfortunately. This time I think not, we hope.
Here, are you going to be distributing your beer elsewhere?
We'll be Twin Ports proper.
Okay.
That's the plan in the immediate future.
Will you be your own distributor, or will you go through?
The plan is to start out self-distribution.
Okay.
Really form close relationships with our retail partners. And state law allows us to do that on both sides of the bridge.
Okay.
So that's we look forward to working with wholesale partners someday. Probably, but. We feel that bond needs to be created. We want to personally do that.
Sure. I imagine some folks are going to draw parallels between this and bent paddle. Are there parallels? What's the big differences between what you're trying to do compared to them?
Yeah, well, I think there are some parallels to bent paddle and Earth Rider in some ways, or Castle Danger, the two harbors, South Shore Brewery. We're going to be. What's similar about Bent Paddle and Castle Danger is we'll be eventually canning. So a lot of breweries aren't doing that yet, and I think that will be coming. Beer in cans, and the craft movement is fairly new. We work really close with Superior Choice Credit Union. Joy Bedard with them did excellent work with Joel, and Douglas County Revolving Loan Fund, City Superior with a grant, WEDC, the Wisconsin Economic Development, State, Northland Foundation, Entrepreneur Fund, Apex helped with a lot of the drafting of the documents. So I think the location, coming to Superior, added a lot of that energy that
Sure.
that enabled just more help for the project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was quite a bit of excitement on the part of the development people in town to get involved.
Yeah, exactly. I think just that
Okay.
Superior, there's a new energy here. People are excited about it, and I'm becoming more aware, and they're willing to put some effort and some capital, some shoulder into that. It
Great.
made this project more than it would have been
Mm-hmm.
because of that support. So this is where the grain handling starts. We brought in a new water main. We
All
needed
right.
a 6-inch water main, which before was 1 inch maybe or something. So that came in, and this is where grain handling starts. Water is going to pump in. Grain handling, we get super sacks that come in, and it'll be hung here.
Okay.
Big
What's a super sack?
super sack full of malt. It's 2,000 pounds.
That's a big sack.
Yeah. And otherwise, it's 50-pound bags.
Sure,
And
sure.
We'll do that too for specialty malts to do different recipes. And so
Okay.
when we're making our mash, that beer, it starts out with different ingredients like making soup. So we have our base malt. They come in the bigger amounts, and we'll have our specialty grains that will be added. And we have an extra hopper that's been put in line here, where we can dump those specialty malts before going into the mill. So the big bags of malt get dumped into the system here. The chain bay carries it up and drops it into our malt crusher.
Okay.
4-roller crusher. So that allows us to really dial in our crush.
Uh-huh.
Um,
And what's the
increase
white bin
efficiency.
over
So
here?
This drops into the grist case.
Okay.
Once it's milled and ready to go, it all comes down in here. And this will get transferred out again into what's called a cable bay. So we start out with chain bay. Chain bay is a more aggressive thing, and we can move big grains with that.
Okay.
But once it's already milled, we want to treat it gently. So then we use a cable bay that we pumped up over here and then through the wall
Okay.
and go into the brew house. Right here's the brew deck. So eventually this will be, today maybe even, will be put into place in this room, and the tanks will stand against it. So this is where the brewers will walk up on
All
the
right.
brew deck and work up here.
So the big tank you've got outside right now that they're preparing to bring in, that'll nestle in one of these slots right here?
That's correct.
Okay.
We have a
Neat.
3-vessel.
3 vessels. How many gallons can you make at a time? Or barrels?
It's a 20-barrel system.
Okay.
So 20 barrel is 2 normal kegs. Keg is
Right.
15.5 gallons.
Right.
Yeah. So you can see how the tanks have been getting into place today.
Where do you
Almost-
get your brewers from?
You know, I've worked with all of our brewers. Allison worked locally at the Thirsty Pagan.
All
pub.
right.
And so, although we're colleagues in the industry, we've known each other a long time. We hadn't worked together before this. Tim Wilson, we worked together at Ficker's Brewhouse. He later, through that tenure, went over to Bent Paddle.
Mm-hmm.
Became a real expert on the cold side of beer production, which is really where the beer is made.
Okay.
When fermentation starts.
Mm-hmm.
Allison will be focused as the lead beer. They're co-lead brewers for us. So Allison will be focused on the hot side. Tim will be focused on the cold side in their expertise. Frank Kazuba, I worked with Ficker's Brewhouse for 17 years, or 16 of his 17 years there.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to be helping us. We have Dave Hoops that'll be helping with some of the recipe formulations here and there as well. So we have a really solid brewing staff that can make some delicious
Nice.
beer.
You know, I think there's a brewer course down in Dakota County. Has there ever been any talk about having some education on this area?
We, the UW system
Yeah.
has looked at it. I think they do have some coursework at Madison through the Master Brewers Association. We were meeting with Renee Walker about doing something at UW on her initiative.
Sure.
So Karen Heinkel, they were looking at it. I think they may have scaled back on their initial vision. I don't know where that's at right now, but an advisory board had been formed, and we did meet. And so Earth Rider Brewery could be a nice little laboratory for whatever with the
Sure.
with the UW system or on our own. We want to work with people that want to learn brewing here and there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have it. We're not committing to that right now in a bunch of
Right.
time, but we see ourselves as educators.
Yeah.
There's barrel aging back here, so it's a nice place to do put barrels. It's got a heated floor, and Ken Clark did a fantastic job originally on this facility. Really, they did a fantastic job maintaining.
Okay.
We'll be doing some of our big beers that'll be in barrels for a while.
Okay.
Our loading dock's right here, so which is great. When the beer's finished cellaring, it goes to packaging on the next line, and then right from packaging right into the cooler. So we have a nice sized cooler to be able to will help facilitate our self-distribution program.
Okay.
Oftentimes one of the limitations that brewers have is their cold space.
All right. And then you're going to get into canning. Do you have a canning line location planned yet?
Yeah, that'll be out for now next to the cellaring. So
Okay.
for to just finish that brew house room tour. So the brew deck, that big brew deck will go right here. So that'll fill up basically this section of the room. It's going to be that other tank goes right here.
All right.
That brew deck goes along here. We'll have
Okay.
some little space here for forklift action to get grain totes out. Because once we have all that wet, spent grain, we're going to need to get it out to local farmers.
Okay.
Who selected now.
They use that for feed
They
for.
use that for feed for their beef cattle.
Okay. Nice.
We'll have a row of tanks, 5 more tanks that will be coming in a couple of weeks. Will be placed through here. So this will be our cold type fermentation.
Okay. Use that for what? Lagers?
All beer will be
Okay.
fermented in those tanks.
Oh,
So this
okay.
is only hot side. This is all only cooking.
Oh, the
So,
cooking. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a hot and cold. There's a hot liquor tank, a cold liquor tank, and
Okay.
these 3 vessels are for cooking efficiently.
Okay. Are you doing primarily top fermentation or?
We'll do both ales and lagers.
Okay.
We'll have this space available for our packaging. We'll have it's probably more room than we need currently, but we will have that ability to put in another row of cellaring tanks here. Maybe 2 rows of them if we want. Move
Okay.
packaging over to that corner of the room. So we have the ability to expand if we need to.
No, by packaging, are you referring to cans or?
right, cans,
okay.
kegs.
So you have to have
So
a can
draft.
line. How much
can.
does a can line cost?
Yeah, you could spend
Yeah, a lot.
$5 million on one.
Okay.
That's one of the things that's happened in the craft industry now. Machinery is
Yeah.
getting smaller, so craft brewers can can.
Sure.
Before that wasn't even a possibility.
You know, there was a time not too long ago when canned beer was really looked down upon. Why the change?
I think that the realization that cans actually protect your beer. It's better for your beer to have it enclosed, airtight container, and
Okay.
it keeps better. It travels better. I like drinking out of a glass bottle. I still buy bottles, so from time
Sure.
to time. But cans they're a handy device.
Yeah.
Summer cheer.